it's Jasma, and today we're making chocolate molten lava cake. A lava cake is a cake, and when you cut into it, chocolate or whatever filling oozes out, and it looks kind of like lava. This is a very fancy dessert that is actually pretty simple to make. So let's get started. For the ingredients you will need, half a cup of milk chocolate chips, 37 grams of unsalted butter, half a teaspoon of instant coffee, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 egg plus 1 egg yolk, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of icing sugar for garnish, and some extra butter to grease the ramekins. First, preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is very important that your oven reaches the right temperature because a lava cake has the gooey center because the inside is not cooked completely. If your oven temperature is too high or too low, you might not get the result that you want. Now we're going to start to prepare our ramekins. So I have a little heart ramekin today. You can use whatever type you like. And we're going to be flipping the lava cake out onto a plate once this is done. So you want to make sure that the cake doesn't stick to the ramekins. I have some softened butter right here. It is unsalted. I'm going to brush the bottom and the sides of the ramekin really nicely to make sure that the cake doesn't stick to it and it can flip out afterwards. You could also use some non-stick cooking spray as well. Just spray it really nicely so nothing sticks. I'm going to be using a brush. Coat the bottom of it and the sides. I don't like to use completely melted butter because it tends to just run down the sides and it's not going to stick to the sides of the ramekin. If you're using non-stick cooking spray, don't do this ahead of time. You want to spray the ramekins right before you bake the molten lava cake because the spray is liquidy and it will run down the sides, but you want it to stay. You want to especially get the bottom of it because you could always run a knife around the edges to loosen it from the ramekin, but it's very hard to do that to the bottom of it. Once I have buttered both ramekins, I'm going to now set it aside and we can start making the chocolate batter. I'm going to be making my batter in a Pyrex pitcher today because it has a little spout, so it makes it easier to pour inside of the ramekins. First, I'm going to pour all of my chocolate chips inside of it. You could also use a chocolate bar and chop it up. Next, I'm going to add in the butter, and this is unsalted butter. Now I'm going to place this into the microwave for around 40 seconds and stir it until it is completely melted. Make sure you stir this until it is completely smooth, because the smoother the batter is, the smoother the lava is going to be. Once the chocolate and butter mixture is completely melted and smooth, I'm going to pour in some instant coffee. Now we're going to add the instant coffee powder into the hot chocolate mixture. You're not going to be able to taste the coffee, it's just going to bring out the chocolate flavor. Next, pour in the vanilla extract. Add in the pinch of salt. Mix that until it is all combined. We're now going to add in 1 egg and an egg yolk. Mix that until smooth. And finally, we're going to add in our last ingredient, which is the flour. We do not have too much flour in this recipe because you want the cake to be fudgy and also very gooey. We're going to add this in. This has about 1 cup of batter in total, so I'm going to be pouring half a cup into each ramekin. If you fill each ramekin too full, then the bottom might not be cooked completely and it's going to stick to the ramekin, so you might not be able to flip it out. But if you underfill each ramekin, then it's going to get overcooked and you're not going to have a gooey center. I'm going to put the ramekins onto a small baking tray. This is going to make it easier to carry in and out of the oven. Now place this into the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 11 minutes. Do not overbake it or you're not going to get a gooey center and the lava. But do not underbake it either because you're not going to be able to flip it out of the ramekins. The cake has came out of the oven. It has baked for 10 minutes, and the center of the cake should still be kind of going down a little bit. If it's rising up too much, that means the center might be overcooked. And now we're going to flip this over onto a plate, and if you try it a couple of times and it doesn't come out, that might mean the cake is a little undercooked and the bottom is sticking to the ramekin. The molten lava cake flipped out perfectly well, nothing stuck to the ramekin. So now for a final garnish, I'm going to dust on some icing sugar. You could also garnish it with some raspberries, strawberries, or some ice cream. See, now that is molten lava. That's how you make chocolate molten lava cake. You can see there's a nice amount of lava in here, and once you cut into it, it should flow out like that. But you want to make sure you eat it while it's still warm, because if it cools down completely, then the lava won't be as gooey. This is very simple to make. It is perfect for Valentine's Day, so I hope you can try this out. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye!